to work. Sorry about that. Huh, that was super weird. I don't know what's going on there. Um, OBS just like dropped the ball there and disconnected. Okay, so we're gonna say behaviors dot GUID is equal to, I believe it's behavior. Then we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna call breakout. I actually don't think I need behavior index. Instead, I can just straight up set that to be so CG logic behavior instead of behavior index is going to be target behavior. Target behavior is equal to null. Okay, and then we're just going to say target behavior is equal to this. All right, and then node.initialize target behavior dot get node JSON. Okay, and if we go to definition here, that should handle setting our GUID. It handles setting our fields. Probably that means we want to go actually back to logic behavior here. And when we call get node JSON, we want to go ahead and pass the name to. So we're going to say JSON.add name and then display name, which I guess I'll put first. We're going to go back to logic list. No, logic node, somewhere around here. Then we're going to go ahead and say label.text is equal to JSON name. Okay, that should handle setting up the GUID and the label, as well as all of our fields, although the fields aren't really going to be useful right now. But the next thing we should be able to do is set up our inspector for those fields, so that's going to be fun too. Oh, sure, you can send me an invite for the Discord if you'd like. Okay, yeah, I'll message you later. Okay, so all of that is set up. Let's real quick jump over here. So this is going to be end game. I'm just going to keep it as end game because that's actually pretty descriptive. So this is going to be same thing, get bool. So these are probably going to end up being very similar to their names, but for the time being, get float. It's fine for me to get int and get string. It's fine for me to keep those as separate values still. Okay. So the next thing that I need to do, which is a bit problematic now that I think about it, isn't it? Oh, man. Yep. Yep. This is not serializable. I'm gonna let that compile. Yeah, you're not gonna do well, are you? Okay. So we'll probably need to come up with a better structure for these things, or actually, I might have just been correct, and we just need to let the raw value be what it is. So I guess this is going to be get set. Ooh. Can I do that though? I'm not sure. That's going to be really hard to debug properly. I don't think it's going to really like me doing that. Okay. So we have input fields here. and we can see the name and type, but we won't be able to see the values. We could try to support it and make it like a, you know, well, so I think my problem is that I'm not going to be able to just make the fields generic like this, not very easily anyway. That's going to be really rough. We'll see what I can do here. So this is going to be, I would say, the target variable. This is going to be a, funny enough, it's going to be an int value, not a string value. It would output a string value to be sure, but that's not what we're actually looking for right now. Ooh. Right, it's because you have two different behaviors. Crap. Boo. So this is going to be target variable. Going to be an integer again. For all of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this, and in theory, we should be good to actually like test this, and then we should be able to move on to the interface for it. In theory. You did not do that. Right. Right. So, bleh. Let me think. I suppose I could do this. Public virtual JSON object to valueless JSON. Just copy this, paste this, and we're going to get rid of value. Similar to JSON. But does not include the value of this field. Okay, find all references. So when we're, yeah, of course you're going to do that. You're going to be like that. We're going to go over to, wow, all of this got shuffled. I think we need our behavior, logic behavior. And when we say get node JSON, I don't want this to be to JSON. I want it to be to valueless JSON instead. Okay. Let's let that compile. It is going to be interesting trying to store that stuff. I'm not sure if I can come up with a good way off the top of my head to do that right now. We'll see. Hopefully I can. All right. So for this, we're going to go ahead and right-click in game. Get bool. You didn't do it again. Cool, cool, cool. Let's go ahead. I bet you did it. Oh, really? Uh-huh. And what exactly did we call you from? have a name? Put it there. It's right there. Oh, you're doing the stupid thing again, aren't you? Wait. Current behavior.get no JSON. JSON.add display name. And logic node, you complained about not having name. I don't believe you. You must have the entirely wrong JSON if that's the case. Which is possible. But seems unlikely. It's right there. Alright. While that's going on, I'm gonna examine that behavior. So you just straight up said that it was null, which means that it didn't exist. So it's not a conversion error, I don't think. It's just that it doesn't exist, or it doesn't think it exists. So let's log what JSON we're getting back. It's right there. Okay. So we know that the JSON is... Oh. It's because I didn't assign the label. Of course I assumed it was my fault. I mean, it was my fault, but I assumed the worst. Alright, so logic node. I bet it's because you're not assigned. Right, yep, there we go. Yarg. There we are. Let's try that again. Of course, I just assumed that I set that up. That's the problem with having inspector values for events is I typically always put those at the bottom, and therefore I assume that nothing is below them. Hooray! Hooray! So we got the GUID being logged out, and we got our collection and the GUID being logged out. Nice. Okay, so from there, we can now start work on generating an inspector for these things when you click on them. Actually, as a test case, I'm going to turn off maximize on delay. I believe that this will be clicked on when I release it. Yep. So I actually need to change it so that you don't click on it when you release it, which means that we're going to come up to here, and we're going to go to logic node on pointer click. We're just going to say if not is dragging. Then we're going to debug that. I'm curious to know which one of those fires first, either pointer click or on end drag. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we're going to need a, let's see, we're going to need some way of, I'm not going to worry about connections yet. So we need to visualize the fields that a given node might have. That is probably going to take the form of a similar menu to our list, where you can click on it and it will just appear near the node that you've clicked on. That way we don't have to have a special field for it, but that might not be a good idea, because it might be easier just to have a scrolling area to the far right instead of having it be part of the node. I'm trying to remember how... Yeah, in general, that's the better way to do it. Okay. So I have an idea about how we're going to handle that then. Although before I do, I want to test that out to make sure that I don't have to worry about doing like a frame delay or anything like that. So I'm Hooray! So you'll notice that when I click and drag, nothing happens, but if I click without dragging, hooray! Nice. Okay. So what I am probably going to do for this is we're going to come up here to our mask here. Right click on this. We're just going to go ahead and right click and say UI image. We're going to have that be aligned to the right. We're going to make it solid slice sprite. We're going to make this black. And I'm going to give it 200% or 200 opacity. That's pretty good. We'll give it pivot all the way to the right. Your grids are open, aren't you? Oh, nope, you're not. Cool. I just hate it when it does that. So 1, 1, 1. We're actually going to say 0, 0, and 0 with a width of 200, 300, 250. Looks pretty good. Okay. So this is going to be our, how to phrase it, our node inspector, I guess. Node inspector. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and add I don't know if this is under layout. Yeah, canvas group. It is going to be interactable. It does block raycasts, and we want this alpha to be 1. We're basically just going to fade this in and out. Okay, so for that, we're going to go ahead and come back over to our map. Let's say create C# script. This is going to be node CG logic node inspector, I guess. I really feel like it'd be better to just call it node inspector, but logic node inspector is probably fine. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. So what's going to happen is when you click on a node, it will pull up the list of values or the list of fields, and that will fade in. So we're going to go ahead and make this in the text request.custom adventures. We're going to say using sleepyowl.common. We're going to say using unityengine.ui. This is going to be a rect mono behavior, might as well. We're going to say serialized field, tooltip, blah, 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 private, canvas group, we'll call this canvas group is equal to null. We are going to need probably bits of logic or prefabs for the individual fields. So we'll do something like, oof, I do not know what I want to do here. Let's just get one field showing up right now, which is all we really care about. And that's going to be, funny enough, our, oh man, variables suck. Okay. Let's just do a basic in field. That will probably make things okay. Okay. So actually, before I do this, even, we're going to go ahead and let that compile. I'm going to come down here to value. Actually, it's going to be behaviors, and it's going to be down here. Okay. Collapse this. So we're going to have game variables. That's what we were kind of messing around with, but because that's going to require access to session, and we're going to have to make like a pseudo session to get those to work, I'm just going to go ahead and create a folder, call these like constants. I think that's what they're called whenever you have a graph-based editor that you have a hard set value being entered into. I think it's just called a constant. So we're going to go ahead and say create C# script. I'm just going to make this a basic int. So it's going to be CG underscore logic underscore const underscore. Terrible. I hate doing snake names, but it works for these sorts of things. Logic const int. I hate doing snake case like that. It started out so small. It's like, it's just going to be CG for custom game. It's like, okay, Chris, that's not too bad. And then we get to CG logic. It's like, it's getting pretty crazy. And then CG constant. I should just call it CG constant like that. Which actually, I'm going to go ahead and rename. Oh man, I did it right as you were compiling. That's not great. You're going to cause me all kinds of problems where you don't think it's compiled, don't you? Or aren't you? All right, so we're going to go ahead and let that open up. Should it choose to do so. You know, when it feels like it. There we go. This is going to be CG underscore logic. I'm not going to do anything yet. Text request custom adventures. CG underscore logic behavior. Okay. Override output, which does nothing right now. Okay. That's really all it needs, I guess. Actually, am I doing anything custom with these? I'm not. I'm not entirely sure that I need anything then. That's an interesting idea. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. They're going to have their own custom logic evaluation, so yeah, I do. Okay. Then we're just going to go ahead and let that compile. Don't really have to do anything else there. Crap, I lied. Because I always lie. Final references here. I need to come back over to get bool. We need this. Okay, so this is going to be const int, I guess. It is kind of funny that it's called constant. So this is going to be const and then integer. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let that compile. Yup, I knew it. You always do that. It's annoying, and I hate you when you do it. Cool, let's go ahead and create another script because I have to. This is going to be CG underscore logic underscore const bool. That will force it to recompile, and then I can actually do stuff. No way, you're still saying that it doesn't exist. Amazing. Because you totally exist. Okay, hold on. I bet it's because Visual Studio has gotten to a weird state. That always seems to be the case whenever this happens. It's because the Visual Studio C# project files just haven't updated, and you're going to just persist there, aren't you? How awesome is that? Yep. You're gonna be okay. Nope, you're just not gonna let me, huh? Awesome. Cool. Well, that's gonna require closing and reopening Unity, which is very annoying. All right, give me a second here. Show an Explorer. Close this. We're request. So now I have to delete all of these things. Oh dear. That got sent up. Probably. Which is not great. Okay, so let's go ahead and let that recompile when I open up Unity. And if it takes any real amount of time to reopen the project, I'm probably just going to go ahead and end the stream there because it's almost 5 o'clock anyway. I hate it when Visual Studio and Unity get confused like that. It's my fault, though, because, of course, I was like, let's create the script, call it this, and then immediately I'm like, let's change the name while it's compiling. So if you're ever working in Unity and you want to rename a script, do not do so while it is recompiling. If you do that, Visual Studio and Unity will get super mad at you, and you will not have a fun time. So, all right. Yeah, this is probably going to take a little bit of time. So, okay, you've opened up, but then are you going to do the search? I don't know, maybe not. Well, I can't move, so I'm assuming that it is. All right, I'm guessing we're going to just end it there for today then, because we have the wonderful checking for changes thing happening. Hopefully that won't take too long, but so announcements, nothing really to announce right now, but we should be good to stream at our regular schedule for next week, so we should be good Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. So a little unfortunate that we couldn't quite get the UI working, but we do have it generating nodes that we can then drag around. Those nodes know about their associated behaviors. So in theory, we'll actually be able to kind of pipe logic through this and just ping those particular behaviors to evaluate data. That's going to be the end goal. We'll see if we can get there. But it's kind of nice to have that stuff be functioning with arbitrary data sets. So we'll see how far we can take this. I'm a little concerned when it comes to editing specific data values, but we might be okay. Question mark. It really just comes down to to an issue of how much freedom I want to give players when they're making their own custom adventures, or perhaps a better way to say it would be how much I can give players. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day there, and yeah, no more announcements. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.